The colossal squid is the heaviest invertebrate ever discovered, weighing up to half a ton. It has eyes the size of dinner plates, the largest eyes ever studied in any animal, and possibly the largest eyes to ever evolve. And yet everything about it defies logic, because this animal, built like a deep-sea tank, survives on less food per day than a house cat. For over a century, the colossal squid has been one of the ocean's most guarded secrets. Scientists knew it existed only because of fragments found in whale stomachs. But in March 2025, for the first time ever, one was filmed alive in its natural habitat. What we're learning is rewriting what we thought was possible in the deep ocean. Many squid species are relatively small, sometimes weighing only a few hundred grams. The colossal squid weighs 495 kilograms. That's not just bigger, that's a completely different category of life. And here's what makes this strange. It's not even the longest squid. The giant squid holds that title, stretching longer from tentacle tip to tail. But the colossal squid is bulkier, heavier, and built with a body mass that seems engineered for something other squids don't do. Scientists call this abyssal gigantism, creatures in the deep ocean growing to sizes that make no evolutionary sense. And the colossal squid represents one of the most extreme examples. But why? What advantage does that mass provide in an environment where food is scarce and movement costs energy? The answer might lie in what it's built to fight. Now, those eyes, 27 to 30 centimeters in diameter, soccer ball-sized organs sitting on either side of its head. The blue whale, the largest animal to ever exist, has eyes only measuring about 11 centimeters across. The colossal squid eyes are more than twice as large. And this isn't just impressive, it's biologically expensive. Eyes that size require enormous amounts of energy to develop and maintain, so there has to be a reason. For years, scientists assumed giant eyes evolved to spot prey in the darkness, but mathematical models revealed something unexpected. Eyes this large don't significantly improve the ability to detect small fish or distant mates. Instead, they're uniquely optimized for one specific task: detecting very large moving objects at long distances in near total darkness. Objects like sperm whales. Sperm whales hunt colossal squid in the pitch-black depths of the Southern Ocean. They use echolocation to find them, emitting powerful clicks that bounce off tissue and reveal location. But here's the problem for the whale. At long distances, echolocation becomes less precise. The farther sound travels, the weaker and more diffuse the echoes become. The colossal squid eyes, however, may detect something sonar struggles with at long range: the faint glow of bioluminescent plankton disturbed by a massive body pushing through the water. That disturbance can be visible from over 100 meters away, potentially giving the squid an early warning before the whale closes in. It's a sensory arms race, and those enormous eyes are the squid's early warning system. But that's not all. The colossal squid eyes also glow. Long rectangular photophores form vertical bands beside the lens of each eyeball, producing light in absolute darkness. Why a creature would eliminate its own eyes while trying to hide from predators, we still don't fully understand. Some researchers believe it may help disguise the eye itself, breaking up its outline or managing light in a way that reduces visibility in the deep. Others think it might be used in communication or mating displays we never witnessed. What we do know is this: every feature of the colossal squid seems purpose-built for survival in a war zone. The weaponry is where things get truly alien. While most squids have suckers lining their tentacles, the colossal squid evolved something far more aggressive: hooks. Sharp, curved, rotating hooks. There are 22 to 25 of them on the tentacles alone, arranged in 2 rows and surrounded by smaller suckers. But these aren't static barbs. They can swivel, sometimes rotating multiple full turns once embedded. Imagine grappling hooks that spin. Once they latch onto prey or into the flesh of a predator, they rotate to maximize grip. Whether the squid actively controls each of these hooks or they spin passively once embedded, scientists still aren't sure. Either way, the result is devastatingly effective. The hooks on the arms are different. Most have a strong main claw with 2 smaller cuffs near the base, making them 3-pointed. These maximize holding power and allow the squid to dig in when it needs to anchor itself or secure struggling prey. They've been compared in size and function to tiger claws, and many sperm whales carry scars across their backs, circular patterns of puncture wounds that match the spacing and size of colossal squid hooks. This is the only squid in its entire family equipped this way. Out of roughly 20 species of glass squids, the colossal squid alone developed this level of armament. It's not built to flee, it's built to fight back. And yet, despite being a 500-kilogram deep-sea predator armed with rotational hooks and eyes designed to spot danger in near total darkness, the colossal squid has one feature that makes absolutely no sense: its metabolism. A colossal squid weighing nearly half a ton may require as little as 30 grams of food per day. That's roughly 1 ounce. To put that in perspective, if a 200-pound human had the same metabolic rate, they'd survive on a single slice of bread daily. One Antarctic toothfish weighing 5 kilograms could sustain an adult colossal squid for months. This is a creature that contradicts its own design. Massive size usually demands massive energy intake. Predators built for combat typically burn calories at extreme rates, but the colossal squid exists in near-freezing water at depths where every movement is costly. So instead of hunting actively, it waits. It's an ambush predator, drifting in the cold, dark water, using those enormous eyes not to chase prey, but to detect when something edible drifts close enough to strike. This strategy explains the size. It explains the slow metabolism, but it raises another question. What kind of environment would favor a predator that barely moves? The answer lies in the colossal squid's home: the circumpolar waters surrounding Antarctica. This is one of the most extreme marine environments on Earth. Here, temperatures hover just above freezing year-round. The water is rich in nutrients, supporting blooms of krill and small fish, which in turn attract larger predators. Antarctic toothfish patrol these depths, and sperm whales dive down from the surface, their echolocation clicking through the darkness, searching for squid. This is a battlefield, and the colossal squid evolved not to dominate it, but to survive it. The depth distribution reveals something crucial about their life cycle. Young colossal squid inhabit waters between the surface and 500 meters. Juveniles descend deeper, between 500 and 2,000 meters, but adults move into the mesopelagic and bathopelagic zones, sometimes beyond 2,000 meters, where pressure is crushing and light disappears entirely. Unlike many squid species, there's no evidence they migrate upward at night to feed. They stay deep. They stay hidden. Why? Because in shallower water, they're vulnerable. Juvenile colossal squid face predation from pilot whales, elephant seals, and seabirds. But as they grow and sink deeper, the list of threats narrows down dramatically. Eventually, only one predator remains capable of reaching them: the sperm whale. And this is where the evolutionary arms race becomes visible. Beak-based estimates suggest colossal squid may make up as much as 77% of the biomass consumed by some Antarctic sperm whale populations. That's not a minor food source. That's a dietary cornerstone. The whales hunt them relentlessly, diving to depths exceeding a kilometer, holding their breath for over an hour, using echolocation to locate prey in total darkness. But here's the tactical problem the squid faces. At long distances, echolocation loses precision. The colossal squid's eyes may detect a whale's approach first, not by seeing the whale itself, but by seeing the bioluminescent wakes it leaves behind. That gives the squid a narrow window, enough time to sink deeper, drift laterally, or prepare to fight. The eyes aren't designed to hunt. They're designed to avoid being hunted. That's the strategy. Avoid detection, avoid confrontation, and when contact is unavoidable, fight back with everything. The hooks aren't just for prey, they're defensive weapons. Sperm whales carry scars across their heads and backs, circular patterns of puncture wounds that match the spacing of colossal squid hooks. These aren't feeding marks, they are battle scars. When a whale closes in, the squid doesn't flee, it latches on, hooks rotating, digging in, tearing flesh. Sometimes the whale wins, sometimes it doesn't. We know this because squid beaks have been found lodged in whale throats, evidence of meals that nearly became fatal. We also found whales with healed scars so extensive they suggest encounter with squid far larger than any specimen we've captured. If the largest confirmed colossal squid weighed 499 kilograms, what size would it take to leave scars like that? Some researchers suspect even larger individuals exist, known only from beaks recovered in whale stomachs. But there's another layer to this mystery. Female colossal squid have been found in shallower water than expected. This suggests they may migrate upward to spawn, leaving the relative safety of the abyss to reproduce. Why risk it? Because reproduction overrides everything else. We know surprisingly little about their reproduction. Studied females appear to produce thousands of eggs, released in gelatinous masses, far fewer than many shallower water squid, but consistent with a deep-sea lifestyle. They're gonochoric, meaning males and females are separate sexes, and like many cephalopods, they're believed to reproduce once before dying, though no one has ever observed the process directly. This raises questions we can't answer yet. How do they find mates in such a vast dark ocean? Do they use bioluminescence? Chemical cues? Something else entirely? We don't know. No one has ever witnessed colossal squid mating behavior. For nearly a century, the colossal squid existed mostly as fragments. The first evidence came in 1925, arm crowns found in sperm whale stomach. For decades after, scientists pieced together the species from beaks, severed tentacles, and mangled remains pulled from whale guts. Only about 8 adult specimens have ever been reported, and many of those were fragmentary. The landmark moment arrived in 2007. A New Zealand fishing vessel in the Ross Sea hauled up a dying female colossal squid while targeting toothfish. That specimen weighed 495 kilograms and measured just over 4 meters long with its feeding tentacles retracted. It became the most complete specimen ever studied. Then, in March of 2025, something extraordinary happened. For the first time, a colossal squid was filmed alive in its natural habitat. The footage showed a juvenile, about 30 centimeters long, drifting at 600-meter depth near the South Sandwich Islands. Translucent, delicate, almost ghost-like. Watching it, you realize how little we actually know. We've been studying the species for 100 years, and only now we've seen one swimming freely. That's the reality of the deep ocean. We'd explored less than 5% of it. The colossal squid ranges across thousands of kilometers of circumpolar and Arctic waters, yet encountering one is extraordinarily rare. They're too deep, too sparse, too adapted to a world we can barely reach. Every specimen teaches us something new, and every encounter reminds us how much remains hidden. The colossal squid isn't just a creature of extremes, it's proof that Earth still holds entire worlds we barely touch. Somewhere in the freezing darkness of the Southern Ocean, colossal squid drift through pressures that would crush us instantly, watching for threats with the largest eyes ever studied in the animal kingdom. We sent robots to Mars, we mapped distant galaxies, yet we know almost nothing about an animal that weighs half a ton and lives right here on our own planet. That's what makes the deep ocean different. It's not just unexplored, it's alien. The colossal squid is the heaviest invertebrate ever recorded. The largest confirmed specimen weighed approximately 495 kilograms. It also possesses the largest eyes ever studied in any animal, with each eye measuring roughly the size of a dinner plate. These eyes are not simply large in absolute terms. They are proportionally enormous relative to the animal's body and exceed the eye size of any known vertebrate or invertebrate species. Despite this extreme anatomy, the colossal squid survives on a remarkably low amount of food. Metabolic modeling suggests that an adult may require less daily energy intake than a typical house cat. For more than a century, the colossal squid remained one of the most elusive large animals on Earth. Its existence was not confirmed through direct observation, but inferred almost entirely from indirect evidence. Fragments recovered from sperm whale stomachs, beaks, arm crowns, and torn tentacles provided the first physical proof that such a species existed. These remains indicated an animal of exceptional size and unusual anatomy, but for decades scientists lacked any opportunity to observe a living individual or study a complete specimen in detail. The species was formally described in 1925 based on arm fragments recovered from a sperm whale. From that point forward, knowledge of the colossal squid advanced slowly. Unlike many large marine animals, it does not surface, strand, or interact regularly with human activity. It inhabits depths that remain largely inaccessible, even to modern research vessels. As a result, nearly everything known about the species was reconstructed from partial remains, comparative anatomy, and ecological inference. It was not until March of 2025 that the situation changed in a meaningful way. Researchers documented the first confirmed footage of a living colossal squid in its natural habitat. The animal observed was a juvenile, approximately 30 centimeters long, drifting at a depth of around 600 meters near the South Sandwich Islands. Although small compared to the massive adults inferred from remains, the footage provided direct visual confirmation of the species' appearance, posture, and behavior in situ. It also highlighted how little is still known, even after a century of scientific awareness. In terms of size, the colossal squid occupies a unique position among cephalopods. Many squid species are relatively small, with body masses measured in hundreds of grams or a few kilograms. Even among large squid, most species prioritize length rather than mass. The giant squid, for example, reaches greater total lengths due to extremely long feeding tentacles, but is considerably lighter. The colossal squid, by contrast, is built for mass. Its mantle is thick, its musculature dense, and its overall form compact relative to its weight. This pattern reflects a phenomenon known as abyssal gigantism. Abyssal gigantism describes the tendency for some deep-sea organisms to evolve unusually large body sizes compared to their shallow water relatives. The reason for these patterns are still debated, but proposed explanations include reduced metabolic rates in cold environments, delayed maturation, and altered predator-prey dynamics at depth. The colossal squid represents one of the most extreme expressions of this phenomenon yet documented. Living at depth imposes severe constraints. Temperatures are near freezing. Pressure increases dramatically with depth. Light is absent beyond the upper layers of the water column. Food availability is unpredictable and often sparse. Under such conditions, large body size would normally be considered a disadvantage. Maintaining mass requires energy, and movement becomes costly. The colossal squid's anatomy suggests that its size serves functions beyond simple growth. One of the most conspicuous features of the colossal squid is its eyes. Each eye measures approximately 27 to 30 centimeters in diameter. These are the largest eyes ever studied in an animal. For comparison, the eyes of a blue whale, the largest animal known to have lived, measured roughly 11 centimeters across. The difference is significant, particularly when considering the energetic cost of developing and maintaining visual tissue. Early explanations for large squid eyes focused on prey detection. It was assumed that larger eyes would allow the squid to spot prey more effectively in low-light conditions. However, modeling studies indicate that beyond a certain size, increasing eye diameter yields diminishing returns for detecting small objects. Instead, very large eyes appeared to be optimized for detecting large moving objects in near total darkness. This distinction is important because sperm whales are known predators of colossal squid. Sperm whales routinely dive to great depths, often exceeding 1 kilometer in search of prey. They rely on echolocation, producing powerful clicks and interpreting the return echoes to build an acoustic image of their surroundings. Echolocation is highly effective, but it is not without limitations. At long distance, echoes weaken and spatial resolution decreases. The visual system of the colossal squid may exploit a different signal. In the deep ocean, many planktonic organisms are bioluminescent. Mechanical disturbance can trigger faint flashes of light. The movement of a large animal through such an environment can create a visible wake of bioluminescence. Modeling suggests that the colossal squid's large eyes may be particularly well suited to detecting these disturbances, potentially from distances exceeding 100 meters. This would provide early warning of an approaching predator rather than a detailed image of the predator itself. In this sense, the colossal squid's eyes are not primarily hunting tools. They function as a detection system, alerting the animal to large-scale movement in its environment. The eyes also possess light-producing organs. Long rectangular photophores form vertical bands beside each lens. These photophores emit light in the otherwise complete darkness of the deep sea. The precise function of these structures remains uncertain. Some researchers suggest that they may reduce the visibility of the eye by breaking up its outline or managing reflections. Others have proposed roles in communication or reproduction. At present, no hypothesis has been confirmed through direct observation. Beyond vision, the colossal squid exhibits anatomical features that distinguish it from other members of its family. Most squid rely on suckers to grasp prey. The colossal squid, however, is equipped with hooks. Each feeding tentacle bears 22 and 25 large curved hooks arranged in rows. These hooks are surrounded by smaller suckers and are capable of rotating once embedded. Whether this rotation is actively controlled by muscular action or occurs passively remains unclear. The arms also bear hooks, but of a different configuration. These hooks typically consist of a primary claw accompanied by smaller cusps at its base. The structure increases holding power and reduces the likelihood that prey, or a predator, can break free once contact is made. Physical evidence of these interactions can be seen on sperm whales. many of which carry circular scars on their heads and bodies that correspond closely in size and spacing to colossal squid hooks. Within the glass squid family, the colossal squid is unique in possessing this combination of size and armament. Of approximately 20 known species in the family, none exhibit comparable hooks or mass. This suggests a distinct evolutionary response to predation pressure at depth. Despite its size and defensive anatomy, the colossal squid has a surprisingly low metabolic rate. Estimates based on metabolic modeling suggest that an adult may require as little as 30 grams of food per day. This estimate is consistent with the cold temperatures of its habitat, which slows metabolic processes and reduces energy demands. At this rate, a single Antarctic toothfish weighing several kilograms could sustain an adult squid for an extended period. This low energy requirement implies a lifestyle centered on energy conservation. Rather than actively chasing prey, the colossal squid appears to rely on ambush. It likely remains largely motionless, conserving energy until prey comes within reach. This strategy reduces the cost of movement and aligns with the unpredictable availability of food at depth. The habitat of the colossal squid is primarily the circumpolar Southern Ocean. This region is characterized by cold, nutrient-rich waters that support complex food webs. Krill and small fish form the base of these systems, sustaining larger predators such as toothfish, seals, and whales. The colossal squid occupies a position within this web that intersects with both prey and predators. Depth distribution changes over the animal's life cycle. Juveniles are typically found in shallower waters, from the surface down to approximately 500 meters. As they grow, they descend to greater depths. Adults are believed to inhabit mesopelagic and bathypelagic zones, sometimes exceeding 2,000 meters. There is no evidence that they undertake regular vertical migrations to feed at night, unlike many other squid species. Shallower waters expose juveniles to a wide range of predators, including seals, whales, and seabirds. As individuals grow and move deeper, the number of predators capable of reaching them decreases. For large adults, sperm whales appear to be the primary remaining predator. Analysis of squid beaks recovered from whale stomachs suggests that colossal squid may account for as much as 77% of the biomass consumed by some Antarctic sperm whale populations. These estimates vary by region and sample size, but they indicate that the species plays a significant role in certain deep-sea ecosystems. Encounters between squid and whales at close range can result in physical confrontation. The hooks on the squid's arms are capable of embedding in tissue, and whales frequently bear scars consistent with such interactions. In some cases, squid beaks have been recovered from whale throats, indicating that these encounters can pose risk to both animals. The largest confirmed colossal squid weighed 495 kilograms. However, beak measurements recovered from whale stomachs suggest that larger individuals may exist. These inferences are based on scaling relationships and remain cautious, as no larger intact specimens have been recovered. Reproduction in the colossal squid remains poorly understood. Some adult females have been found in shallower waters, suggesting that they may migrate upward to reproduce. Available evidence indicates that females produce thousands of eggs, released in gelatinous masses. This reproductive output is lower than that of many shallow water squid, which may produce far larger number of eggs. The species is gonochoric, meaning the males and females are separate sexes. Like many cephalopods, colossal squids are believed to reproduce once before dying. However, no mating event has ever been observed, and the full reproductive cycle remains undocumented. It is unclear how individuals locate one another in the vast deep ocean. Proposed mechanisms include chemical signaling or light-based cues, but no hypothesis has been confirmed through direct observation. Scientific understanding of the colossal squid remains limited by the rarity of specimens. To date, only about 8 adult specimens have been reported, many of them incomplete. The most complete adult specimen was recovered in 2007 by a New Zealand fishing vessel operating in the Ross Sea. The animal was transported to New Zealand and later studied in detail, providing valuable anatomical information. The 2025 footage of a living juvenile underscored how little direct observation has occurred. Despite more than a century of study, encounters with living colossal squid remain extraordinarily rare. Less than 5% of the deep ocean has been explored, and much of the species range lies beyond routine scientific access. Each new observation adds incrementally to scientific understanding while also emphasizing the scale of what remains unknown. The colossal squid represents one of the most extreme examples of adaptation to deep-sea life. Its anatomy, physiology, and behavior reflect evolutionary pressures that differed markedly from those experienced by shallow water organisms. The existence of such a species illustrates the extent to which Earth's oceans continue to contain environments that are only partially understood. Even large animals can remain effectively hidden when they inhabit regions over regular observation. The colossal squid stands as a reminder that the deep ocean remains one of the least explored domains on the planet.